Alright, let's talk about methods of research in developmental psychology. When you study people, the same rules don't always apply. In fact, they rarely do, as when you're working with animals. So the methods that we use in developmental psychology differ from other methods, and so you'll want to make sure you understand the three types of research methods in developmental psychology, as well as the pros and cons associated with each. So let's use an example, because the best way to learn these is to think about one example. So let's say that I want to look at how shyness develops throughout someone's life. So my goal is shyness and its development throughout the lifespan. One thing I can do is a cross-sectional study, and I can look at people who are 5 years old, who are 15 years old, who are 25 years old. And then in that one study conducted in the same period of time, like today or next week, I would look at any differences between the people who are ages 5 and ages 15 and ages 25. And in theory, I could make some assumptions. If the average shyness was this here and the average shyness was this here, up or down, well, I might be able to say, well, it looks as if people's shyness increases as they develop or is more likely to decrease as they develop. But there's a problem with that. The pro of a cross-sectional design is that it doesn't take a lot of time. I could do it today if I wanted. But the con is that there are 2 or 3 different groups of people. So it could be that these 15-year-olds are shy because of when they were born. And maybe it has something to do with being born in the 90s that makes you more shy than if you weren't. Totally making that up, but it's a possibility. So we can get some information through a cross-sectional study, but it's limited. It's quick and easy, but it doesn't apply because we're looking at different groups of people. So you're saying, well, how would we fix that? Well, one method would be through a longitudinal study. Now we're going to look at the same people to see how they develop. And if I look at 5-year-olds today, and then I wait 10 years, and I look at them when they're 15, then I wait 10 more years, and I look at them when they're 25, I will be able to see actual changes for those people from the age of 5 to 15 to 25 without any guesswork. Sounds great, right? The biggest problem, is that that's a 20-year study. That takes a long time. I don't know where I'll be in 20 years. I don't know where my participants will be in 20 years. Some of them will forget about the experiment. Some of them will quit. Some of them will die. So the longer an experiment runs, the greater the likelihood there are for complications. Not only that, but you still have that same problem. If the people that I'm looking at that are 5 today are more shy at 25, it could be because they were born in the 2010s, and it wouldn't hold true with other people. So the pros of one study are the cons of the other. But you can combine them both into a cross-sequential study. This is when right now you look at different groups of people. So today I would study 5-year-olds, and I would also study people who are currently 15 and currently people who are 25. And then 10 years from now, I would study those 5-year-olds who would now be 15. I would study those 15-year-olds who would now be 25. So I've combined those 2 methods, which is cool. That is actually going to allow me to see actual changes between individuals because I'm studying their lifespan as they develop. And I'm also going to be able to see differences among generations because I'll have different groups of people at different starting points. So there are pros to the cross-sequential model that kind of alleviate some of the problems of the other 2. But the cross-sequential still has the problem that it takes a long time. But the information that you get at one time is better than the other 2. So cross-sectional, quick and easy, not that relative to other people's lives. Longitudinal, long time, but you're actually looking at individuals' changes. Or cross-sequential, still a long time, but you're getting bursts of information that you can see from multiple perspectives. So those are the 3 developmental research methods: cross-sectional, longitudinal, and cross-sequential.